Oh my goodness, they're lining up outside.
So I guess to start off, you're here with the documentary. So why documentary and why now?
Well, because Jennifer Crute approached us and said she'd like to make a documentary about my husband Brad and me, and we had to think about it for a while. But you know, we have been activists in the campaign for equality for LGBT people. But even before that, I've been active in getting redress and an apology from the U.S. government for the unconstitutional incarceration of Japanese Americans during the Second World War. And here was an opportunity being offered us by Jennifer Crute to address those issues and perhaps humanize people's perceptions, which were based on stereotypes. And so we welcomed it.
And the film does that very well. And what it also does is give us a really intimate look at your life with your husband, Brad. I mean, Brad kind of steals the show from you a little bit in this film. How did that make you feel?
He's a thief. He stole it wantonly. Isn't he charming?
Yes, very.
Can you put Oh My on there?
Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
Life is reality TV. For the rest of your life, you're a young man, and what's going to happen is pretty soon you just pretend the cameras aren't there. That's how I do it.
Was there any resistance on your part to take part in a documentary?
It was a full year of negotiations, discussions, contractual agreements before the first shooting day happened. So it took 12 months to say yes, essentially. And then she and her film crew stayed with George and me for 3 full years of filming. They filmed hundreds of hours of footage with George and me, and they boiled it down to a 90-minute documentary, To Be Takei.
One thing that's so great about the film is how natural you guys are on camera. I mean, how did you sort of approach that the idea of the camera just being a fly on the wall?
It worked for the most part, because eventually the film crew, the sound engineer, the cameraman, they became friends, and you just sort of forgot they were there. They just kind of blended away, and then George and I, the true George and I, were seen on camera. So it worked out that ultimately the scenes on film were genuine, because I genuinely didn't care that the cameras were there.
You determine your destiny. I don't believe in negativity. If I did believe in that, that usually comes true. I, in my own life, have been the beneficiary of an optimistic view of life.
And you said 30 years. I mean, what's your secret to the longevity of your relationship with George?
Well, the one key element is that George Takei is the most wonderful human being who's ever lived on the planet Earth. I love him so much. I'm so blessed. You know, how many people are on the planet Earth? There's like 5 billion now, or 6 billion, and I have the best person. So that helps the relationship.
Definitely.
But in terms of the fact that George says that I'm not the most easy to get along with person at all times, our secret to being together for nearly 30 years is that every day before we go to sleep, we kiss each other. And why that's significant is because when you think about it, earlier in the day we may have had a horrible argument or a horrible conflict, but we end each day with a loving kiss. And I think that's the secret. And occasionally a couple glasses of red wine. George, this is my moment.
I haven't said a thing. My life today is much better than when I was a child.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Good
Have a
to see
night.
you.
Nice
Good
to meet
night.
you.